Well, one of the topics that has gained a lot of traction of late is the movement called as Black Lives Matters. The unfortunate death of George Floyd giving rise to a wave that is posing some very critical questions in our times. But there's a question behind that statement, that phrase, does Black Lives Matter? And I think that's exactly what they're protesting about. And I think a question that is behind that question, a fundamental question, is the question, does any life matter at all? Does any life matter at all? And if so, why? Hence, I would think the question of whether one's life matter is a matter of one's worldview. Now, what is a worldview? The simplistic definition of a worldview is that it is a pair of glasses through which you and I look at the world. In other words, a system of belief through which we define, judge, and categorize everything around us. As a matter of fact, every one of us has a worldview. Even the ones who do not believe in God has a worldview as well. It is called as the naturalistic worldview. Hence, for an atheist, no life matters, only matter matters. But how about you? What does your worldview talk about life, and on whose life matter? Does all life matter to you? And in my context, I'm led to introspect my own life and my own faith and ask a gamut of questions. Questions like, does the life of my maid who works for me matter? Does the life of my driver matter? Does the life of my employee matter? Or do I see them merely as someone who does work for me, an object that satisfies my desires? Well, few further and deeper questions that I must be asking, in fact, we must be asking is, well, does the life of an unborn baby matter? If so, why do I still hear about so many abortions happening and girl babies given up for adoptions? Does the life of a girl child matter? If so, why is a boy child still preferred over a girl child? Does the life of a lady matter? If so, why is she still harassed for dowry? Why is her face marred by acid? Why is she still treated as inferior? Worst of all, why is she still seen as an object of pleasure? Another, but perhaps a bit more deeper and sensitive question that we must ask is, does the life of my neighbor, who is perhaps from a different religious background, matter to us? Or does it not matter to us at all? Does any human life matter at all? If so, why does their life matter? See, one of the stories that caught my attention while reading my Bible is the story of a lady brought to Jesus caught up in adultery. Now it's interesting, the man is missing in the story, only the lady is brought, and the one who brought her demands that she be killed for the act of adultery. But Jesus stoops and writes on the ground, and he says, "He who is without sin may cast the first stone at her and kill her." And at which all of those accusers who brought her retreat. Can you imagine the joy on this lady's face? Well, she came to die, but she's given life now. And you further read, when you read about Jesus, that he is called as the friend of sinners and the tax collectors and the prostitutes. For him, all were made in the image of God in spite of their social standing, and he had no qualms about associating with them. So here is the question we must all mull over and over again. Does any human life matter at all? Well, if not, we will go down the path of Hitler. But if does life matter to us, why does it matter to us at all?